Hey, thanks for joining me at Divine Messages 333. I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted. I just um want to bring a message to you. I actually made a video, and when I edited it and put all the um like captions on and stuff, it just I accidentally like layered them over each other, so I had to delete it, and I'm doing another one, and it's a little longer, so I can kind of now I'm home, and I can kind of explain some things that I wanted to say before. Anyway, so I found this toy on a walk the other day. It's a little superhero, and I think the head is gone. I don't know, because I don't think that's the head. I don't really watch those movies. Um, and then on another walk, I think it was yesterday, there was like this big like picture on a board, and it was Spider-Man, and it said Spidey Senses. Okay, so I am talking to someone who is in a situation where they're feeling trapped. Um, Kind of like you're questioning, how did I get here? How did this all happen this way? Like, why aren't things working out? I'm trying so hard. Um, Now I myself have been in a situation like this. It was about 2 years ago almost now. And um I'm I'm sensing that you, who I'm speaking to right now, who's resonating with what I'm saying, is basically like going through what I went through a couple of years ago. You may be feeling, I don't know if, excuse me, the card, the Eight of Swords. Um, I'm going to look at one of my decks right here and see if I can pull that out. So the Eight of Swords is a woman with a blindfold, and swords are surrounding her, and she it looks like she feels like trapped. I think her arms, she has like she's kind of like tied up. I'm sure you probably, if you are into tarot, you can kind of remember what this card is. But so you may be feeling almost like, you need to be rescued, right? Like, this situation is so like you're in dire need of like a change, okay? And in order to get out of this situation, it's like affecting your finances, right? And you need your finances, and so you probably need more at this time to get out of whatever situation you're in. And so you have to work more, to get more money, and you're probably feeling exhausted. So this is the Eight of Swords. And you see this woman, it's like, the thing is if you really look at it, she's not tied up super tight. And if she were to like wiggle out, get out of this bind, right? Take the blindfolds off, she could walk right out of those swords. She could walk out of there. So she kind of like, okay, so what I need to say, I don't know, I guess tough love, harsh truth, but I am not beating up on the person that I'm speaking to, okay? So I want to make that clear right now. I'm not like blaming you. I'm not telling you to blame yourself, like, oh, you got yourself in there so you can get yourself out. Well, the way I am going to say it is you did get yourself in there, right? But you are also dealing with another person. There is a person in your life that's toxic. There might be many people in your life that are toxic. And I'll speak for myself. I ignored my intuition. Instead of listening to my gut, instead of putting into action what I was threatening people or a person, like, you keep doing this, I'm going to leave. I'm not taking this anymore. Whatever. I wasn't following through. I wasn't putting action behind it. Every time I didn't do that, the situation just got worse. I figured, it was the other person that wasn't really like, I don't know if they weren't intelligent enough, they weren't understanding how great they had it or could have it. And so why don't they just straighten up, and if I just can show compassion and be understanding and, keep working harder, instead of listening to my intuition, I just tried harder. Okay. I just tried shoving that square peg into that round hole. The wrong puzzle piece into, the spot where it's not meant. And nothing was, it might feel like it's working out, right? Momentarily. And then shit just fell apart. And it was like over and over. And it was like very like repeated, but so similar. Like, it might not be the exact situation every time, but when I say repeating, it's like, okay, shit might fall apart on Monday, and instead of like 3 months later kind of experiencing the same thing, it'd be like the next week or a few days. It's like it was gaining speed, okay? And what I was failing to understand, because I wasn't understanding, if I'm doing so much and I'm trying to do the right thing, the good thing, right, and take care of these things and people or whatever, why am I not getting my blessings? Why are things not working out? Why is this happening? And what I came to understand when I separated from the people, the situations, right? My routine, my money, my work, and some of this I separated voluntarily, and some it was taken from me. And what I came to realize over time, for me, it happened through listening to my intuition, isolating myself, talking to what I believe in, which are my guides, my angels, God, the universe. Those are my beliefs. You're gonna take this message if it resonates, and then you're gonna apply it to yourself, and how, by your listening to your intuition, how are you supposed to look at this, and how are you supposed to respond, or what message, what lesson, how is this playing out for you? So I'm not saying that we're gonna deal with it in the same way, but this is how it happened for me. I also, because I isolated so much, I had my cards with me, and so I would do my own readings, I would watch readings, and I was just getting the same consistent message. That is that I was doing, like, if I separated what I was doing from my environment and the people in it, I was doing the right thing. I was working hard. I was, doing right, doing good, right? But I didn't want to let some situations go. I didn't want to let some people go. And I did not understand that because those people were choosing, whether it was intentional or a subconscious decision, they were choosing not to walk down that same path as an individual in their own life. Because we are still individuals, even if we're in a relationship with someone, even if it's been 50 years you're with somebody, even if you're talking about your children, your family members, your twin, whatever, like you're still individuals. And I was aligning myself on a path where blessings were coming in my future. As long as I cut cords, I'm hearing, as long as I detached from certain situations, behaviors, thinking, beliefs, people, relationships, because if I was connected to something that wasn't aligned with the path that I wanted to go down, then I was delaying my blessings. I was delaying the good karma that I'd been racking up for a long time. I was delaying that. Okay? I was putting myself in this situation. But because I was blind, I didn't see it. I felt like my hands were tied. I couldn't leave certain people. I couldn't leave certain situations. Right? If I did, I'd be cut. I would be hurt. Okay? And so I had to, I went through a period where I wondered, is someone going to swoop in, and rescue me? Am I going to, meet the right, connection, or am I going to find a resource and, I'm going to get this help and it's going to like save me? And before I really understood why I wasn't, things weren't working out for me, they weren't moving, right? I kind of like sat in a period of like waiting, like, okay, well, who's coming? Who cares enough to help me? Nobody. I mean, I did have help. I want to say now there were people, which I believe, there were a few angels in the form of humans that were put on my path at that time. And so, they were like heroes to me, right? But now I'm at a point where I still because I have detached from, some beliefs, some people, behaviors, situations. Things are working out better. Things are moving along. That clogged pipe is becoming unclogged and things are flowing, okay? But I had to be my own hero. I had to rescue myself. I had to use my spidey senses, and I had to really, like, I couldn't ignore it anymore, right? If something felt off, I needed to listen to myself. And I needed to do what was best for me. I needed to then step in and be my hero and save myself, rescue myself. Okay. So, you could be going through this right now and sometimes kind of like beating yourself up. I know that when things were happening for me, stuff was happening really fast, right? It was happening really, really fast. Like all everything falling apart was happening really fast. The changes were happening really fast. So actually, like, I didn't really have a lot of time when it was all falling apart to really like beat up on myself. It was more like, why? Questioning so much, why, right? Then when I was alone a lot, it's kind of when I went through like a lot of feelings, like you would with grief, right? Letting go and anger, and I don't remember like a lot of denial, but I'm sure there was. I think a lot of my denial came from before, right? Then I'm sure there was a period where I wasn't accepting a lot of like the responsibility that I had, because I hadn't figured out why, right? So little by little, everything kind of like started to fall into place because I was strengthening my connection with, my beliefs. I was strengthening that. I was leaning on that, instead of being blinded by, how I got somewhere. I put blind faith in, what I really believe in, in my faith. So, if you are having any feelings of like you're angry with yourself, I just want to let you know, if you are in a situation that's kind of dire right now, that isn't going to help anything. It's not going to help find resources. It's not going to help you move things along. It's actually going to attract more crap. So really, if you are able to kind of move with the tides, go with the flow, okay, and be open more, because if you're angry, you're really closing yourself off. You're closing yourself off from resources. You're closing yourself off from, hearing things. If you, believe in signs and you pay attention to that, you're closing yourself off from that, or you're going to misinterpret things, okay? Or what you do see are going to be a lot of negative things that are going to just reconfirm, or they're going to confirm what you're feeling. So really, instead of like telling you, oh, think of it positive and put on a happy face and all that, in a sense, fake it till you make it. But I would advise, just from my own experience, rather than, trying to be all cheery when you're not feeling that way, try not to lean into those negative feelings. Try not to lean into those negative feelings. If you can be more neutral might feel more authentic, more genuine than trying to, fake being happy when you're totally not and your world's falling apart. Be open, because, this guy also, he has a shield, okay? So he has a shield. So I think that, you used to, or you could be currently feeling like this, okay? But once you can take that blindfold off, right, and walk away, now there's all these swords. You're going to be feeling very like guarded, like this. And this actually is going to be, for a while, a lot better to kind of navigate. Like, this will be better a better position for you. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. Um, it's okay to have your guard up, but you don't want to so much that you're now blocking, because he's blocking, right? You don't want to block, um, any help that might come in, resources, connections that might help you. Um, you don't want to, I mean, if you're going through this, you probably have a lot of blocked chakras. Your energy is probably blocked in a lot of areas. And you don't want to do even more for yourself, to yourself in that regard. But it's a better position to be in a sense, than this, because this, you're so vulnerable, you're open to whatever can attack you. You don't even see it coming. This, like I said, that I don't think that's supposed to be the head. And so this is kind of like, your hero can come in a lot of different forms. It could be different people, it could be you, but you are going to have to be your own hero in this situation. One message I got during the time when I was alone, and it triggered me, and I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it at first, but I have a deck that I made myself, and a card kept coming out, and it was telling me no one is coming. And being isolated and getting that message over and over, I mean, just that card alone put me through a lot of different emotions. Fear, resentment, anger, confusion, doubt. I mean, so many things. But in the end, I was the one who pulled myself out with the help of others. I didn't know if somebody had pointed these people out and said, oh, that person's going to help you, and this person, I would have been like, what? But because I was in a dire situation, when I needed help, I mean, I was stripped of everything. I needed help. I went out, I took the blindfold off, and when I walked out of this, I was like this, okay? And I came out of, I'm a Cancer, so I came out of my shell, right? Very timidly, with my shield up, but willing to be open, because he doesn't have two shields up, right? This side is still open, okay? So part of me was still open to see, to be receptive to incoming help. I had to have my shield up, though, in case toxic people, old patterns, situations, or old types of people were coming back. So I still had to have my guard up to a degree. But because I wasn't completely blocking everything, I was able to receive. And because of what I received, the help I was able to receive, it put me in a position in better alignment to be able to, little by little, be my own hero. This is your time. This is a do-over for you. Choose wisely, okay? this time around, choose wisely. This isn't a time where you get to do it over and try to shove that square peg this time into that round hole. No. This is the time where you take that square peg and you realize, oh my God, it doesn't even go to this thing that these are two separate things. So this round hole needs to go over here. This square peg goes over here. I need to completely stop doing that. And I need to look at this situation different, and I get to do it over, and this time I'm not making those same mistakes again. I'm not repeating the same thing. If I start repeating the same thing, if I'm in the middle, if you're in the middle and you realize, well, you're going to handle this new situation the way you used to, stop. Because that's exactly what you're not supposed to do. This is a do-over. It's not a repeat, okay? You're doing it differently this time. This is your time. Can you screw it up? Yeah. So choose wisely. I mean, you already know. You know what's at the end of that road, right? You don't need to walk one more step down the path you've been. Because really, what you're not seeing is it's a loop. You're like on a racetrack. Yeah, you may feel like you're going forward, right? And you keep doing the same thing and you're moving forward, but you're not seeing that it's curving and it's just taking you around and around and around, and you're getting nowhere. You're wasting time. And I don't know about you, but I turned 50 this year. I don't have time to waste anymore. I'm not willing to waste time anymore. I will cut a bitch if you try to waste my time, because I'm not doing that anymore. So, this isn't a time to beat yourself up. This is a time to put on a little armor, toughen yourself up, get your shield out, but be open to new people, new connections, new resources, and pay attention to the patterns, because you could let one person go, but the universe, God, if you believe in those things, I'm assuming you could believe in, you open to some of this because you found me on a video about, oracle readings. This is like a test, you make the right decision, right? But then a little bit later, there will be a test, okay? Like a pop quiz. You might get some new people in your life. Are you going to make friends with these new people? Are you going to entertain these new people, these new energies? Do any of them remind you in any way of people that you have recently cut off, or you've cut off in the past and realized that was the right thing to do and you stayed with it? Because if you see patterns in new relationships that remind you of old ones, nope, not that one. You're going to have to figure out how you're going to get rid of that. Detach. It'll be easier though this time, because you already have your guard up. Before, you were so open. These people could just swoop in. They could just swoop in. You didn't see it coming. Your hands were tied. You couldn't defend yourself, and they knew it. They could see you. You couldn't see them. This time, you have new eyes, and you need to use them. I'm rooting for you. I know the energy is so heavy, but it's time. This is the time. It's hard. And so I'm sending you love, I'm sending you support, compassion, understanding, I'm sending you empathy, and I'm cheering you on for the hard work ahead. But it will pay off. It will pay off, because if it if if it weren't meant, if it's not meant for you to have, good things, you wouldn't be getting this opportunity right now to do it over. And you are. So choose wisely and give yourself a break, okay? Because you probably just didn't realize. But now that you do, now that you know better, now's the time to do better. I hope this helped. If you want to add anything in the comments, I'd love to read it. It could help other people that might come across this video. If you think that this could help another person, share it with them. Subscribe to the channel. Let other people know about it. And I hope to see you again. Bye.